I'm Ronnie Edwards. This is my son Shannon. Went to Bouchard in '72, about August of '72, best I remember. I went down there and my first job was to start preparing for inventory. And that's why I remember August. It was hot, oh gosh. And so when we'd get pipe in or a crate of fittings, we had to push them all the way to the back of the room. Back in those days, we did a lot of underground work. I may have weighed 130 pounds when I went down there. And like a 10-inch mechanical tee probably weighed about 250 pounds. So I'd get them I used to get them on a two-wheeler. It'd take everything I could to break it down. I might get it finally broke down, and if I lost any kind of balance, I'm going up there. I'd have to get some help to push it back down. Good work, hard work, but it was good. Pipe and valves and fittings and all. We were already a Worcester distributor. We were a Crane valve distributor and all that. Did a lot of soil pipe. That was before PVC pipe. There was no PVC pipe. So we carried a lot of bars of lead, at 25-pound leads. I remember one job, we had a job uptown, a high-rise. We had a plumber, he was probably 40, 45 when I was a teenager. Grover Holland. I had to take some pipe up there to the job one site. First of all, it took about 30 minutes to carry it all in. That stuff's probably 100 pounds of a thing, and he'd put one on each shoulder. And it's all I could do to put one on one shoulder. We went over to an elevator. He pushed a button. It didn't open. He said, "Let's go." I said, "What?" Hey, the steps. I ain't sitting here waiting on that elevator. So there we go, toting that pipe up and down steps. If he pushed that button and it didn't open, we hit the steps. He'd like to kill me. Those first years. Back in those days, everybody, they used to say you had to wear like a 42 shirt and a 3 hat. I mean, everybody's a big guy but a small head. It was all work and all. Those were some big boys about in those days. Otto, Guy, yeah, awesome guy. Me and Shannon was talking the other night about 8-inch threaded pipe. Roy, you remember how heavy those fittings was. There was no Schedule 10 back in those days. It's before the machine shop expanded out. We had a yard back there behind. The machine shop was there, but they went out. We had a yard. We carried all underground pipe back there. And all the fittings we'd take in the back door. One night we had a job, fire protection. I think it was Guy Tillery and Ronnie Young maybe. Had to go up there. A water main blew out under the floor inside their building. They wanted to know if I'd come in and just drive material up there. I said, I had a key to the building. I said, yeah. We worked all day Saturday, and about 8 o'clock, I thought we was getting off. They brought lights out in the parking lot, and I thought, man, I'm tired. I'm glad we're going home. They said, oh no, boys, we got to have this back in service. I ended up having to go to the shop, load up a load of pipe on an old flatbed truck, about 10 lengths of pipe and a bunch of fittings, and go back up there. Got back up there about 2:30 in the morning, and they had backhoe digging trenches and all. I finally got off Sunday night at like 6:30. I'd been on the clock 47 hours, and that's all overtime.